Do you have any idea how this information passing DNA was discovered? Well, it is a very long story. In 1869, a Swiss physician, Friedrich Miescher, was the first person to isolate the DNA in history. He started collecting pus from the bandages of the patients from the local hospital. He used salt solution to wash off the pus from the bandages. The cells started splitting and the nuclei of the cells got precipitated separately when he added a weak alkaline solution to the cells. He isolated a unique chemical substance from the cell nuclei and called it nuclein. He found nuclein in every cell type that he tested. In 1878, the non-protein component of the nuclein, that is the nucleic acid and its 5 primary nucleobases, were isolated by Albert Kossel. In the year 1919, the base, phosphate, nucleotide unit and sugar of the DNA was identified by Phoebus Levene. In 1928, Fred Griffith did some experiments on Streptococcus pneumonia, which causes pneumonia fever. The outer surface of the bacteria may be smooth or rough. He performed many experiments on live strain rough bacteria, live strain smooth bacteria, dead strain rough bacteria and dead strain smooth bacteria. From those experiments, he concluded that strain rough bacteria is converted into strain smooth bacteria. This conversion was done by dead strain smooth bacteria. He also named it the transforming principle. In the year 1937, the DNA's regular structure was shown by William Osbury. The first X-ray diffraction pattern was produced by him to show the regular structure. In 1943, Oswald T. Avery, a molecular biologist, concluded the DNA as the transforming agent. In a test tube, he put the killed strain smooth bacteria and added some enzymes that destroy proteins. The strain smooth bacteria transformed to form strain rough bacteria. But when he added the DNA destroying enzymes, the strain rough bacteria did not transform. In 1950, Edwin Charkov studied the DNA molecules chemical composition. Charkov found that the number of adenine in a DNA molecule will always be equal to the number of thymine and the number of cytosine always equaled the number of guanine. He called this as the Charkov rules or Charkov principle. Charkov's law helped many scientists to decode the 3-dimensional structure of the DNA molecule. In 1952, Alfred Hersey and Martha Chase confirmed the role of DNA in heredity. In the same year, Rosalind Franklin found the structure of the DNA using X-ray diffraction. In 1953, Watson and Crick tried to find out the 3-dimensional structure of the DNA molecule. They figured that the DNA molecule is built up of 2 mirror image strands comprised of piled DNA nucleotides coupled together like a bending or twisting double helix. In the year 1975, Frederick Sanger developed a method called Sanger method, which is the chain termination method of DNA sequencing. In this method, different size fragments of a part of DNA are developed and then classified based on their length. In 1985, Kary Mullis described the polymerase chain reaction, shortly PCR. Polymerase chain reaction is a chemical reaction using which many imitates or copies of DNA can be made. Using this reaction, many hereditary and infectious diseases, genetic cloning, forensic analysis, paternity testing, crop varietal identification, etc. are being diagnosed since then. In 1996, the first cloned animal, Dolly the sheep, was born on July 5th at the Rosalind Institute. It was cloned from the cells of an adult sheep. The Human Genome Project was started in the year 1990. The entirety of an organism's genetic information is called as the genome. The DNA represents the genome responsible for the organism's growth and functions. The 3 billion base pair human genome was sequenced. Other sequenced organisms includes the bacteria Escherichia coli, the fruit fly Drosophila melanogaster, the plant Arabidopsis thaliana and rice, etc. The research and development using DNA is still going on. Scientists come up with very excellent new ideas each and every day. Deoxyribonucleic acid, that is DNA, is the hereditary molecule that carries the genetic information in human beings and almost in all the other organisms including microbes, plants and animals. The genetic information carried is encoded by the DNA molecule, which is used in the growth, development and functioning of the living organisms. Proteins, carbohydrates and nucleic acids are the 3 major macromolecules that are essential for life. Most DNA can be found in the cell nucleus, but a little number of DNA is located in the mitochondria in animals and chloroplast in plants. For most living cells, the genome is DNA. In some viruses, RNA is the genome. DNA molecules are double-stranded helices comprising of 2 long biopolymers made up of nucleotides. Double helices structure resembles a twisted ladder. Each and every nucleotide comprises of a nucleobase. The nucleobases are guanine, thymine, cytosine and adenine. The backbone of the DNA is made up of alternating phosphate and sugar groups, with the nucleobases bounded to the sugar groups. A base, phosphate and sugar together are called a nucleotide. DNA acts as information storage because DNA backbone is tolerant to cleavage. Generally, bases of the DNA pair up with each other. Adenine always pairs up with thymine and cytosine with guanine. These units are called base pairs. The 2 strands of the DNA molecule are anti-parallel or run in opposite directions to each other. One backbone of the DNA molecule is 3' and the other one is 5'. DNA is arranged into long structures called as chromosomes within the cells. In the process of DNA replication, these chromosomes are duplicated during cell division. Each cell is provided with its own entire set of chromosomes. There are 2 grooves in DNA molecule. One is the major groove and the other one is the minor groove. Both grooves are not equal in size. It is because of the effect of the geometry of the base pairs. The major groove is 22 angstrom unit wide and the minor groove is 12 angstrom unit wide. The nitrogen atoms and oxygen atoms present in the base pairs of the major groove directs toward the helical axis, whereas the nitrogen atoms and oxygen atoms present in the base pairs of the minor groove directs outward the helical axis. The major grooves and minor grooves run opposite to each other continuously along the entire length of the DNA molecule. The 2 grooves are very important in the DNA binding proteins required in replication and transcription. Proteins bind to the DNA specifically and non-specifically. Specific binding occurs by hydrogen bonding and non-specific binding occurs by van der Waals interactions and electrostatic interactions. Proteins generally recognize H bond donors, that is hydrogen bond donors, hydrogen bond acceptors and methyl groups. Major grooves have 4 potential recognition patterns and minor grooves have 2 potential recognition patterns. Some proteins bind in the major groove, some binds in the minor groove and some in both the grooves. A nucleobase in one strand always bonds with only one nucleobase in the other strand. This bonding is called as complementary base pairing. Purines always form hydrogen bonds to pyrimidines. Base pair refers to the arrangement of two nucleotides bonding together crosswise the double helix. Only with this pairing the hydrogen bonds will be created between them. The Watson-Crick rule of base pairing is adenine nucleobase always bonds to thymine nucleobase in 2 hydrogen bonds, and cytosine nucleobase always bond to guanine nucleobase in 3 hydrogen bonds. High GC containing DNA is more stable than DNA with AT content. Hydrogen bonds are not covalent bonds, so they can be split and rejoined comparatively. The two strands of the DNA molecule can be broken separately by using mechanical force or by increasing the temperature. By this, all information in a double stranded sequence of a DNA molecule can be duplicated, which is very critical in DNA replication. Two single stranded DNA molecules or two SS molecule or two SS DNA can be performed by the process called as melting or denaturation. Melting process can be done by high temperature, high pH and low salt. The double stranded DNA's stability does not only depend on the GC content, but also on the sequence and length of the sequence. DNA supercoiling is the process of twisting the DNA like a rope. In its relaxed state, DNA normally circles the axis of the double helix. By twisting the DNA molecule, the strands may become more tightly or loosely wound. Two types of twisting are present, that is positive supercoiling and negative supercoiling. In the direction of the helix of the DNA is twisted, then it is positive supercoiling. In positive supercoiling, the bases are bound together more tightly. In negative supercoiling, the DNA is twisted in the opposite direction and the bases in the DNA fall apart well. If a DNA sequence is the same as the messenger RNA copy that is translated into protein, then the sequence is called sense. Antisense sequence is the sequence on the opposite strand. The process of deciding the exact order of nucleotides within a DNA molecule is known as DNA sequencing. In a fragment of DNA, finding the order of nucleotides is DNA sequencing otherwise. The 4 bases are adenine, guanine, cytosine and thymine. The invention of rapid DNA sequencing methods has widely induced medical and agriculture genomic research and discovery. For basic biological research, knowledge about DNA sequences has become essential, and in various fields such as biotechnology, forensic technology, diagnostics and biological systematic DNA sequences are used widely. In early 1970s, the first DNA sequences were obtained by the researchers based on 2-dimensional chromatography using laborious methods. With automated analysis, the fluorescence based sequencing methods were developed. To find out the sequence of individual genes, full chromosomes or entire full genomes, larger genetic regions, the DNA sequencing methods can be used. There are many DNA sequencing methods: basic methods, advanced methods, de novo sequencing and next generation methods. The basic methods of DNA sequencing are Maxam-Gilbert sequencing and Sanger's chain termination methods. In the year 1977, based on consequent cleavage and chemical modification of DNA molecule at specific bases, Alan Maxam and Walter Gilbert released DNA sequencing method. This method is also known as chemical sequencing. In this method, it granted purified samples of double stranded DNA to be used without further cloning. Use of radioactive labeling and its technical complexity in this method admonished extensive use. Radioactive labeling at 5' end of the DNA is required in Maxam Gilbert's sequencing method. Purification of DNA fragment to be sequenced is also required. A break is generated at a small portion at 1 or 2 of the 4 nucleotides in each of the 4 reactions by a chemical treatment. The 4 reactions are G, A plus G, C and C plus T. The concentration of the modified chemicals are controlled and introduced on modification per DNA molecule. Hence, a series of labeled fragments are generated. For separating the sizes, the fragments in the 4 reactions are side by side electrophoresed in denaturing acrylamide gels. The gel can be exposed to X-ray film for visualizing. In the year 1977, Frederick Sanger and his co-workers developed the chain termination method, which was similar to the process of DNA replication. The method was named after him and called Sanger's method or Sanger sequencing. Because of its relative easiness and reliability, this method became popular. Initially, fewer toxic chemicals and fewer quantity of radioactivity were used in chain termination method than Maxam and Gilbert method. Due to its simplicity, the Sanger method was used in the first generation of DNA sequencing. Sanger sequencing method is also known as chain termination method. For this method, a single stranded DNA, a DNA polymerase, a DNA primer, 4 deoxynucleoside triphosphates normally called as DNTPs and 4 modified nucleosides called as DDNTPs or dideoxynucleoside triphosphates are required. Modified nucleotides are used for the termination of DNA strand elongation. In this method, first DNA denaturation is done. DNA denaturation is the process of breaking down the double stranded DNA into single stranded DNA by heating. Then the broken DNA is listed into template strand and complementary strand. To allow the primer sequence to bind to its complementary sequence in the template strand, the temperature is lowered. Again, the temperature is raised so that the polymerase 3 enzymes combines to the DNA and a new strand of DNA is created. The sequence of new DNA is complementary to the original strand. Then deoxynucleotides are added by the enzyme. This addition occurs until a dideoxynucleotide is added, which stops the synthesis process. At any position, the strand can be terminated, resulting in a collection of DNA strands of many different lengths. This results in 4 dideoxy strands. Again, to denature the double strands, heat is applied. For analysis and electrophoresis, the sequence reaction is transferred to a capillary electrophoresis tube. Colored light is emitted by each type of dideoxynucleotide at a characteristic wavelength and is recorded as a colored band. The data output is interpreted by a computer program. The polymerase chain reaction was developed by Kary-Mullis in the year 1983. Bridge PCR is another method for in vitro clonal amplification. In this method, upon primers, fragments are amplified and attached to a solid surface. In result, DNA colonies or DNA clusters are formed. In Illumina genome analyzer sequencers, this method is used. Across several orders of magnitude, polymerase chain reaction can be used to amplify a single or few copies of a small piece of DNA. Using polymerase chain reaction, thousands to millions of copies of specific DNA sequence can be generated. Thermal cycling is the process followed in this method. Thermal cycling is the alternative process of heating and cooling of the reaction done for DNA melting and enzyme replication of the DNA molecule. Primers complementary to the target region with a DNA polymerase are used to enable exclusive and repeated amplification. To execute a wide array of genetic manipulations, PCR can be used. Components required for PCR setup are DNA template, 2 primers, Taq polymerase, deoxynucleoside triphosphates, that is DNTPs, buffer solution, divalent cations, monovalent cations, potassium ions. Polymerase chain reaction is carried out in a thermal cycler or PCR machine. To reach the temperature that are required to achieve each step of the PCR reaction, the thermal cycler heats and cools accordingly. Several cycles are present in PCR. In each cycle, series of repeated temperature changes occur. The steps in PCR are the denaturation, annealing, elongation. In the initialization step, to a temperature of 94 degrees C to 96 degrees C, the reaction is heated, and this is held for 1 to 9 minutes. This is only needed for DNA polymerase that demand heat activation. Denaturation is the first regular cycling step. This step consists of heating the reaction to 94 degrees Celsius to 98 degrees Celsius for about 20 seconds to 30 seconds. By disrupting the hydrogen bonds among the complementary bases, melting of DNA of the DNA template is caused. Single stranded DNA molecules are yielded by this process. In annealing, the temperature is lowered to 50 degrees Celsius to 65 degrees Celsius in this reaction for 20 to 40 seconds. This allows the annealing of the primers to the single stranded DNA. Stable DNA-DNA hydrogen bonds are formed only when the primer sequence closely matches to the template sequence. DNA formation begins when the polymerase starts binding to the primer template hybrid. Elongation, depending on the polymerase used, the temperature is maintained in this step. Taq polymerases optimum activity temperature is 75 degrees Celsius to 80 degrees Celsius. A new DNA strand complementary to the DNA template strand is synthesized by the DNA polymerase at this step. This is done by adding DNTPs in 5' to 3' direction that are complementary to the template. As a rule of thumb, per minute 1000 bases will be polymerized by the DNA polymerase. In the final elongation step, the temperature is maintained at 70 degrees Celsius to 74 degrees Celsius for 5 to 15 minutes. This is done to make sure that any of the remaining single stranded DNA is fully extended. In the final hold step, the temperature is reduced to 4 degrees Celsius to 15 degrees Celsius. This may be applied for short term storage of the reaction. Nucleic acids and proteins are immobilized in blotting technique on a solid support. This support will be generally nylon or nitrocellulose membranes. To identify particular nucleic acids in the complex structures, techniques were developed. The types of blotting techniques are southern blotting, western blotting. Southern blotting is done in DNA and western blotting is done in RNA. Southern blotting is a commonly used method for the recognition of DNA fragments that are complementary to a known DNA sequence. Southern blotting can identify an organism's specific gene and provide information. From the organism of interest, the chromosomal DNA can be isolated by southern blotting. The chromosomal DNA is digested with a restriction endonuclease enzyme. The restriction fragments are then submitted to electrophoresis on agarose gel. The agarose gel separates the fragments based on size. Using alkaline solution, the fragments are denatured in the gel. The fragments are transferred from gel to nylon membrane. By electrode transfer, this can be transferred. In a solution containing the probe, the membrane is immersed. To remove non-specific bound probe, the membrane is then washed. Later it is exposed to an X-ray film. This process is known as autoradiography. Northern blotting is used to identify the gene expression and particular genes regulation. In northern blotting, proteins are separated by gel electrophoresis. Proteins are transferred to a special blotting paper called as nitrocellulose. With a generic protein, the blot is incubated. To the solution, an antibody is added which will bind to its particular protein. An enzyme or dye is attached to the antibody. By incubating it, the location of the antibody will be revealed. We have come to the end of this session. In this session, we discussed DNA, the process and different methods of DNA sequencing and the polymerase chain reaction. We also discussed about the blotting technique. DNA is also called as the building block. They carry the genetic information that is responsible for the growth and function of the living organisms. DNA is double helix structure. It has 4 bases and 2 grooves. The base adenine always binds with thymine and guanine always with cytosine. DNA sequencing is the process of deciding the exact order of nucleotides within a DNA molecule. There are various methods of DNA sequencing and 2 types of blotting techniques present. Each method and technique is used for their exclusive purposes.